Hey everyone, it's Dan Charles with Light Forex. It is Wednesday, February 12th, and we're going to break down the major Forex pairs, starting with the Australian USD. So we're always looking at a daily, a weekly, a monthly chart, a 60 and a 240. And here's the list. Please subscribe to the channel to get more videos, and check out the link in the description below this video. Okay, so let's take a look. Australian USD is rebounding quite nicely. On the weekend, I talked about how this is a little bit tricky because when you're setting up to drop, this was looking very, very bearish on the weekend. Quite often, you can get this rebound effect because it's not going to usually continue going straight down with the same rate of decline, the same ratio as this drop here. You're normally going to rebound, go a little sideways before you continue the downtrend, if you do at all. So I was staying neutral on this from when we made our last video. Now on Monday, support was hit. Friday's low was 6662, and then Monday the low was 6665, so it put in that support, and then here we are rebounding. We hit some resistance at the high 6737 yesterday, busted through that. A while ago I put in this support level at 6750, 6751, and that price got hit today. So 6750, that high was hit, and then it pulled back. You can look at the 240 and you can just see there's resistance at 67.49. That price was hit twice. And of course you can see it on the 60 minute. You can see that price hit. I'm going to look for support around 67.33. Let's see if this can break and attempt to bust through that. Of course, if it breaks below this support at 67.33, it definitely will come down. Let's see if just based on this weekly chart, if this is going to end up being a lower high or we continue to break higher. So what happens tomorrow is going to be very, very important on the Australian USD. Let's take a look at the Australian futures. Okay, so we got this gap up on the Australian futures today. So it definitely looks a little bit different than the Forex pair, but sometimes it looks a lot closer. Today it looks quite a bit different. You got this gap, and we're just going all red today. Usually when you have a gap like this, we could get that gap fill. So look for a potential pullback. You can see that resistance on the 240 at 67.54, and there it is on the 60. And we got the support at the low at 67.37. So I want to see that 67.37 price hold, but I would not be surprised if this comes down. So look for the Australian dollar to pull back. Euro USD, wow, this one's really been falling off of late. Yesterday it really looked like we might get a bit of a rebound. I drew in some support around 1.0900. Kept going lower today. On the 60 you can see it is rebounding, trying to hold some support at 1.0866, and you can just look at the 240 and you see that rebound there. Yeah, you know, looking at this, I'm expecting a bit of a rebound tomorrow. Let's look at the center line here of today's candle, roughly 1.0894. Let's see if it can pull up to that price and possibly break it. If it breaks it, then we're really going to look for maybe it comes up, hits resistance, and then continues the downtrend. But I just don't see this downtrend going on much longer without a decent pullback. Just like you see here, you go a couple days pull up and then continue the downtrend. So I'm expecting a rebound imminently. Let's take a look at the Euro futures. Euro futures, this one looks pretty much the same. Yeah, I'm expecting a rebound is in order, but we got to see if it holds the support. 1.08885. Let's see if that holds. Okay, on to the pound USD. Pound USD has had a nice little rebound the last few days. It's got a long upper wick today. It's definitely setting up like it could be setting up to continue the downtrend, but I actually like this more turning around if it can hold these levels. So if we're looking at the 60-minute, we can see we got some support at around 1.2952. You want to see that price hold. If that price breaks, then this is definitely coming down. We got resistance though, 29.79. We hit resistance 29.89. So you want to see prices bust through those resistance prices before we really confirm whether we're going to be bullish or not. You can also see that around the price that the high was hit today, 29.87 roughly, was where there was support. So this was support. Now you can see resistance. We came up, we hit that resistance. Now we're pulling back. So it's you know, right now I just the last several weeks I've been very neutral on the pound. It's just been very choppy. And when it broke down on February 6th, it broke out of that range. I was leaning more bearish, did drop more, but now it's already rebounding. So you can see signs that we're hitting resistance. We could lean more bearish, but I can also see signs that if we bust through that resistance, then I think we could go bullish. So I would wait for either the support to bust or the resistance and then take your pick that way. Let's take a look at the pound. Pound futures, yeah, so it hit that support price roughly and then dropped. So that definitely is a bearish sign, but you also have to look and see. We are trending up nicely, so you can see if we can break through that resistance, then it could be the time to buy. Okay, let's go to New Zealand USD. Now New Zealand USD, big rebound today, huge rebound today, and we're coming back right around where we had some resistance price. So resistance 64.89. Price came up, hit 64.88, right around resistance, and then pulled back. So yeah, you can just see that big breakout today. Big move on the 240. And now after a big move like that, it's very common you're going to have some pullback. So let's see, the support level is going to be around 64.57. Let's see if that's 64.47. 64.57, sorry, 64.57. See if that price can hold, but this is such a big range, and I would really not doubt that if this pulls back farther than that. So let's put a line through the center, 64.36. That would be the next level I'd want to see holding. So I'm anticipating this pulling back before it continues this uptrend. I got to be bullish, but I think it will pull back before it continues the move. Let's take a look at the New Zealand futures. Yeah, you get the New Zealand futures, big gap up, all red. To me, I think this gap will be pulling back, filling in that gap. Okay, USD CAD. Now, USD CAD, I've been calling for a pullback lately, and I mentioned that we have resistance around this price, around 33.40, 1.3340. It was hit here, pulls back, hit again, pulls back, hit again, pulls back, and here we are again, roughly around that price. And as soon as I saw yesterday's setup, I was very confident that this was gonna pull back more. We are putting in a support price, so you can see on the 3rd February, actually sorry, February 3rd, we hit the open 32.36, the low today 32.36. It did pull up on that. You can see that on the weekly time frame as well. But I just feel that if this comes down and breaks that, we're going to go lower. Let's see if this can rebound and rally though. But I look at the weekly chart. I just think this has more to come down. So let's take a look at the Canadian dollar. As this is dropping, the Canadian dollar will be rebounding. And the other day I've been always talking about the support on the Canadian dollar at 75 cents. And here I drew in 75. You can see just the other day on the 10th, it came very, very close, hitting a low of 75.015. And then here we are getting this rebound. Bit of a gap up. So this to me looks like this could come down, which would make the USDCAD go up. We're obviously totally bullish just based on the 60 and the 240. But yeah, I'm anticipating this pulling back. Okay, on to the USD yen. USD yen finally busted through this resistance at 110. I shouldn't say finally because it just hit on the 6th and the 7th. It hit that wall at 110, pulled back, held the support at 109.50, 52, and here it is breaking out. Yeah, the USD yen is moving with the stock market, the US stock market. US market went up today. This has gone up today. Next level of resistance is going to be 110.22. There's some resistance at that price just recently, last month. So let's see if that can break. I think maybe this breaks out, but it's going to pull back soon. Look for support at 110. This was resistance. Now it's going to be support. So let's see if it can hold 110, continue this move up. But what I mean is if this breaks out, it's going to be ready to pull back soon. So I'm going to be bullish on this. Let's see if it can hold 110. All right, lastly, let's check out the yen. All right, so I talked about this. I drew in this support on the yen, and it's holding that support. It looks like it wants to bust, but we got this big gap down. So let's see if this is going to hold the support, and this is going to rebound back up, which would send the USD down tomorrow. So let's see how that happens, how that turns out. Let me go back to the USD yen for a second here. It's very interesting when you compare the futures with the Forex pairs because you can make up your mind that things look bullish on one instrument and then they might look the opposite on the other. So it can force you to either be neutral or change your mind. The yen future looks like it could rebound, fill that gap in, which would send this down. So let's see if it can hold 110 and continue this bull run. That would be what I'm anticipating. But of course, if it busts through 110, it will come down, and I'd be looking for a shorting opportunity. Okay, that is the breakdown for February 12th, Wednesday. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.